Welcome to Studying with KJ. Today, we'll be going over long division using one-digit divisors. Now, before we get into our example problem, let's go over three definitions. First, what is a divisor? A divisor is a number that divides another number. Our next definition is what is a dividend? A dividend is a number that gets divided by the divisor. So if we go back to our definition for divisor, it says a divisor is a number that divides another number. That other number is called the dividend. Okay, so now our last definition is for what is a quotient. A quotient is the result from dividing the dividend by the divisor. So now that we have those three definitions out the way, let's look at our example problem below that shows what a divisor is, what a dividend, and what a quotient is, or where it is when you're looking at a long division problem. So we have three. Three, as you can see, is our divisor. Our dividend is this 761 that's under this half kind of rectangle. And then on top is our quotient. Our quotient is whatever we get when we divide 761 by 3. So let's go ahead and find that quotient in our example problem. So before we get into actually solving our example problem, let's look to the right at our 4 steps. Step 1 is to divide. Step 2 is to multiply. Step 3 is to subtract. And step 4 is to bring down. And then we'll repeat that process or those steps over again until we get our final answer. So let's start off with step 1. Step 1 is divide. So we have to see if 7 can be divided by 3. Or in other words, how many groups of 3 can go into 7. So 7 can be divided by 3. And if we look closely, 2 groups of 3 can go into 7. Or 3 times 2, which is 6, can go into 7. If you go higher than that, if you go 3 times 3, or 3 groups of 3, that would be too big because 3 times 3 or 3 groups of 3 is 9. 9 is bigger than 7. We won't be able to do that. So 3 or 2 groups of 3 can go into 7. So next, we'll do 3 times 2, which is 6. That's our step 2. So we put 6 below our 7. And then step 3 is to subtract. So 7 minus 6 is 1. So that is our third step. And our fourth step is to bring down the next number, the number next to 7. So we bring down a 6. And when we bring down a 6 next to the 1, we get 16. So now we start over. Start off at step 1. So we see, or we're trying to see what's 16 divided by 3, or how many groups of 3 can go into 16. 5 groups of 3 can go into 16. Because 5 times 3 or 3 times 5 is 15. And if we go higher, than 5, we get, which is 3 times 6, that's 18. 18 is too big for 16. So 5 groups of 3 is perfect. So that's step 1 when we start all over again. Now we're going to step 2, 3 times 5, which is 15. So 3 times 5, 15. Bring that 15 below. Now we're going to step 3 again. 16 minus 15. 16 minus 15 is 1. And then our step 4 is to bring down the number next to 6, which is 1. So when we bring that down, bring that 1 down next to the one that's already there, and that gives us 11. So now we start off back at our step 1, which is divide. So we do 11 divided by 3, or how many groups of 3 can go into 11? 3 groups of 3 can go into 11, because 3 times 3 is 9. If we go higher than 3 groups of 3, if we go to 4, that would be 12. 12 is too big. So let's put 3 right here. And now we go into step 2. We multiply 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9, right? And then our next step, step 3, is to subtract. 11 minus 9 is 2. And then that leaves us with a remainder of 2, because we can't go down to step 4 because there's no other number that we can bring down. We brought down all our numbers. So our answer is 253, remaining a remainder 2. So that concludes today's lesson. Remember, the more you go over these type of problems, the easier that they get. Thanks for studying with KJ.